Hey Siri, turn on Barn Tray 8.
I've sent the request.
Thank you for sending the request. Alright. Well, hello there. Put my phone down and stuff. Well, let's see. I'm totally not exposed correctly, and yet the window light outside is correctly exposed. So, yeah, not the world's greatest idea here. Oh. Yeah. Now, I wonder if I pick this up and turn this way, if that'll fix things. Hey, that fixes stuff a bit. How about that? Then it changes the exposure and everything. So hey, that's okay. Now we got, an aperture. Yeah. Let's try to think. F-stop, aperture. Yeah. So we got f2.8, then 1/50th of a second for shutter, which is kind of nice. I think I got this thing in an auto shutter mode, so we'll see what it does. Probably if it gets too bright out, it's going to crank the shutter speed up. So who cares right now? We're just going to deal with it. All right. And then, yeah, it's fluctuating the ISO. Like right now, it's showing ISO of 1000, which shouldn't be horrendous, I think. Okay. Need to go in here and turn off one of my cameras from going stupid crazy and beeping that, I'm in the barn, because, that's what it's there for, is to tell me when people are in the barn. So, there we go. Yeah, and I know someone has been spotted. Well, I've snoozed you, so be quiet. I just realized that this thing is zoomed into 20 millimeters right now. I didn't even think about that. Like, if I want to actually make this bigger, oh wow, look at that. Whoo, baby. Ain't that cool? Now I'm a small little person. I gotta get all the way up to here to make this thing do stuff, huh? That's very interesting. I actually kind of, this is interesting. Although I do like that I can have this wide of a frame like this. Like, I do like that. Because that allows me to move around and not have to worry about redoing stuff. So this is the it's Tamron, right? Yeah, Tamron 11 to 20, 2.8. I basically bought this lens for vlogging specifically, as well as basically to just wed it to the ZV-E10. Now, of course, there's reasons to be able to put different lenses and stuff on different cameras. There always is the benefits to that. That's why I would much rather have an interchangeable lens camera than a point and shoot camera. Like that bottom line, I will always want an interchangeable lens camera before a point and shoot camera. That doesn't mean, though, that point and shoot cameras don't have their places. They do have their places. But for me and what I want to do, and to be able to maintain certain frame guides, maintain certain things, like, I like being able to exchange lenses. It's just me. Because as amazing as this is, this camera doesn't have any image stabilization. There's no IBIS in the camera. There's no IBIS in this lens. So this makes it so you almost have to lock it off or put it on a gimbal if you want it to be stabilized. The ZV-E10 does have see, I just caught myself talking to myself. I need to talk to the lens. That's something I've got to work on. Now, unlike some folks who I think they talk to the lens, but then realize they don't talk to the lens, like, I understand when I'm not talking to the lens. Like, I understand when I'm not looking into this inky black piece of glass onto that sensor, into your eyeballs and into your ear holes. As Sarah Dietschy would probably say. Oh, she had an interesting comment on one of her recent videos when it comes to holes. I thought it was cute. But I need to focus on looking into the camera, talking to you. I don't need to talk to myself. I know this thing's doing stuff over here. I don't need to talk to myself. I need to talk to you. All right, let's see. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, different lenses on cameras. So, for instance, when I was doing my, which I still haven't fully finished yet, so I kind of need to do that. But when I was doing my Advent calendar series last year, that kind of overwhelmed me, honestly. During that, I realized that I wanted a macro lens. Now, it just so happened that the amazing folks at Sigma had put out a sexy new macro lens. So that's what I bought. And that I specifically bought that for two reasons. One, I wanted a macro lens. Two, it was a full frame lens. Three, the thing was brand new. So it was amazing quality. Like an amazing lens. It's going to last me for as long as I'm shooting with E-mount equipment. I mean, that's just how it is. That lens is going to last me forever. And it did what I wanted it to do. It gave me that macro, it gave me that close-up look. There's no way that you can get that look. You cannot get the compression, the magnification, and things like that with a point-and-shoot camera. It's impossible. There's no way to do it. So there's things like that. It's like creative decisions. When you want a look or you want a view, an interchangeable lens camera lets you get that look. It lets you get that view. Does it cost more money? Yeah. Yeah, it does cost more money. Can you get some things cheaper and hack ways to do stuff? Sure, you can. Is it going to look amazing? Sometimes it might. Sometimes it won't. Is it going to be easy to hack it together? Heck no. It'll be a lot easier to purchase what is meant to do the job in the first place. That's how we got into this situation with this electrical distribution panel and solar cabinet. You know, I bought what I thought was cheap and would work at the time. Then sat on it, never used it. Now that I'm actually putting it together, because I decided I don't want to throw away another couple $1,000s worth of batteries like I did because I didn't use the batteries. That's why we're sending this thing up now so that this thing's going to work. It's where I realized, like, had I done some more research maybe at the time, I would have realized that I wanted these things over here. And I could have bought something that would have been cheaper than what I've spent. That honestly would have been better than what I've got. So that's the thing. That's what happens when you hack stuff together. Sometimes you start out thinking you're correct. Sometimes you start out thinking you're saving money. And then you do stuff like this because all of a sudden you realize, oh, I don't feel very safe that there's no breakers in this electrical setup. I don't feel very safe that all I've got is just this one fuse. Like, nah, I ain't too keen on that. I don't feel very safe that the inverter manufacturer recommends a certain size wire, and yet the package that I was sold originally has this size of wire, and that's nowhere near what the company over here is saying I should have for this big of an inverter. Yeah, that's what happens when you hack stuff together. You make mistakes, and then you spend more money to fix those mistakes. Because if you don't spend the money, those mistakes become accidents. You don't want accidents. That's why you spend the money to prevent accidents. That's why you spend the money to stay safe. That's why you do things safe to begin with. I've hacked a lot of stuff together. I've done stupid things before. This whole elbow injury and hand injury, like this is a major example of a massive mistake. We'll discuss that in the future. But in the meantime, we're working on this and making this good. So, we're going to talk to you later. I'm going to see if I want to put it together like little time-lapsey things and other stuff. I'm not sure how I want to pull it off. All I know is I do want to try and start recording things Because there's been so much content I've been working on and not filming, and it's just, it overwhelms you at times. See, for me, my problem is I think too much about stuff. So let's stop thinking too much about things and start doing things. And we'll see you next time.